Had a fun time on Saturday. Well, now that we're way off track and off time, let's go to the Gospel of Matthew. Where are we? We're somewhere in here. Oh yeah, we're in Matthew chapter 20. We're in Matthew chapter 20. We're going to do 29 to the end. We're going to finish chapter 20 this morning, and I'm going to be gone the next 2 mornings up at Rim Rock, where I probably won't have any cell service. So, there you go. Now, 2 blind men received their sight. Verse 29, as they went out of Jericho, a great multitude followed him. And behold, 2 blind men sitting by the road, when they heard that Jesus was passing by, cried out, "Have mercy on us, O Lord, Son of David." Then the multitude warned them that they should be quiet. But they cried out all the more, saying, "Have mercy on us, O Lord, Son of David." So Jesus stood still and called them and said, "What do you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Lord, that our eyes may be opened." So Jesus had compassion, touched their eyes, and immediately they received their sight, and they followed him. So, in short, this is the story that maybe you're familiar of with the title of Blind Bartimaeus. This is Blind Bartimaeus. Now, Mark and Luke only mention Bartimaeus. Matthew mentions 2 guys. What we find similar, and I think it's actually even the same scenario, where Matthew identifies multiple people, and then Mark and Luke or others identify a specific person. We see this with Legion, when they go across the Galilee over to the east side in the area of the Gadarenes, and there's Legion. Well, Matthew mentions multiple people. Mark and Luke mention Bartimaeus. Matthew mentions multiple people. It's not a contradiction. In fact, Matthew is an eyewitness. Mark and Luke were hearing the stories from the disciples and whatnot. And more than likely, Bartimaeus was the chief guy talking. "Have mercy on us, O Lord, Son of David." Do you think 2 guys said that in unison? Have mercy on us, Son of David, right? Like, what do you want? Like, okay, 1, 2, one guy did the talking, right? I mean, it's logical. And more than likely, that one guy was the prominent one who stood out. And so the idea being is that probably Bartimaeus was the main guy doing the talking, and he had his blind buddy with him. And there was 2 people. And maybe Bartimaeus went on to follow and whatnot. I mean, that's the idea, is Bartimaeus being the one who would be remembered the more. So it's just things like this, small reconciliations in the gospel, where we find the 2 stories, they come together to make us a complete story. But notice what they do. They cry out, "Have mercy on us." They know they need mercy. They call him Adonai, Lord. Bartimaeus actually is the only person apart from Mary Magdalene who will call him Rabboni, my teacher. And so we get that probably in, I think, Mark's gospel. And the idea is they acknowledge their need of mercy. They acknowledge his position as Lord and as the Son of David and as Messiah. And so I think here we have really, in many ways, a recipe of what we ought to see in someone seeking forgiveness of sins, seeking healing, and seeking salvation. It's coming to the Lord, acknowledging who you are, and acknowledging who he is. That is repentance. That is changing your mind about the way you've been living your life and recognizing who he is and who you are. Bartimaeus and his buddy, they are sinners in need of mercy. I don't think you can be saved unless you believe that. You must recognize your need of salvation. You must recognize that you are a sinner, and outside of mercy, there's nothing you can do. Mercy It's not you being good. It's not you paying it off. It's just mercy. I need mercy. And I don't think you need to pass a theology exam, but I do believe you need to be worshiping the right Lord. And that comes two ways here. One is, who is Jesus? And in that sense, in two ways. Who is he literally? Who is he to you? Who is he literally? Who is he to you? I don't think you really can get these wrong. I think there's grace in someone honestly, sincerely seeking the Lord who's confused about theology. But in short, to be saved, these three things. And it's all wrapped up in one. It's all wrapped up in faith. It's all wrapped up in belief. So you could call it one thing, faith. But faith in what? What is this faith in? Faith that I'm a sinner. Two, who is Jesus ultimately? He is God. He is the Messiah, the Son of David. Bartimaeus knew this. He declares it. You are the Son of David. And he understood, I think, what he was saying when he said that. He was acknowledging who was Jesus ultimately, but also who was Jesus to Bartimaeus? He was Lord. I think the difference between Jesus being Lord and not Lord is not, and maybe you've read about this, and I think this is like a semantical type of argument and study. I mean, like it's true, and at the same time, it's not always true. The idea of lordship salvation, like well, until people start treating Jesus like their Lord, he can't be their Lord. And no, people can acknowledge him as their Lord, and it takes a long time for them to work things out. So that's like the idea that like until you start really living like he's your Lord, then you're not saved. And that's on works now, and that's not what salvation's about. But recognizing him as your Lord, that's also different. You see, when James says, you believe in one God, you do well, but even the demons believe and tremble. Well, that's explaining that, see, the demons believe in Jesus. They believe he exists. They even know who he is. They know he's God. They know he's the Christ. So you can get that part of the equation right. You can correctly know who God is, but the demons do not recognize him as Lord. So again, these things all have to come together. I think if you recognize who he is and that he's Lord, I don't think that recognizing you're in need of mercy, I can't really fathom how you would not get that part if you got those two. But often that's the part you need to understand first, what quite often leads you to these two. I am only and will ever only be a man in need of mercy. And he's my Lord, and he's God. He is Messiah. And so when someone comes to Jesus knowing these things, even though he's already set his face like flint for Jerusalem to be crucified, he has time to stop and have compassion on them. And that's the way he'll always be. He's never too busy to have compassion on his kids, on those who are seeking him diligently. So, yeah, there you have it. That's all I got. I sang a song, so I'll keep the teaching short. So, yeah, I mean, unless I happen to have service tomorrow, you might get a surprise. Hello. But I don't think I have service out where I'm at. So 2 days, I'll be out of service. Y'all just have to log in and watch Real Talk. You'll have to wake up 10 minutes early if you want to watch Real Talk, though. So now half you guys watch Real Talk already. Anyway, Dallas. So, yeah, go check out Dallas Sandoval, man. That guy's got such amazing teachings every morning. And I log in and watch when I have a chance. It's just fun hearing that brother. Love him. So, all right. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys around.